I unironically love the Dorky helmet mirror. I was just hanging out at VeloTrap, saw this Dorky helmet mirror, the ones that you see a lot of bike tourists use, for $15, and I just picked it up as an impulse purchase and decided, oh, I can make a video on it. But I've been using it for the past 6 months for every single ride, and I unironically love this thing and will probably keep using it for as long as I have it and buy another one if I lose it or if it breaks. It is that good. It's like having eyes on the back of your head, which is a complete game changer for cycling. Speaking of a complete game changer for cycling, this video is sponsored by Wabi cycles. Be sure to stick around to the end of the video to learn more about them. Let's talk about the cons first, and then we'll get into the pros and whether or not you should buy it. I want to start with the cons because you need to get over the hump that this thing looks, to a lot of people, really ridiculous. And that is the biggest con when it comes to the take a peek, I forgot what it's called, here it is, helmet mirror. If you're a cyclist that really cares about how you look, how your bike looks, and how you look on your bike, it's a big mental hurdle to get over to put this thing inside your helmet. On top of that, you got this big antenna sticking out. It's not the most aerodynamic, it's not the most pro. People may ask about it and make fun of you if you ride with more competitive cyclists. Because it's so effective at allowing you to not crane your head and check your blind spots, all you have to do is look up behind you. When I'm riding with beginner cyclists, I worry sometimes that I'm teaching them bad behavior with my cycling helmet, and that teaching them to not check their blind spots because they don't see me moving my head to see behind me. It can be pretty finicky to adjust and to get the angle and the position, how far it is away from your eye, just right so that you can see behind you easily. If you do get used to it, I'm getting to the point where I can just feel the mirror and know where it's supposed to be to adjust it. But at the same time, every time I take off my helmet and put it back on, it loses this adjustment because it has to be just right for you to see behind you and beside you. Once you do get it adjusted, it is a complete game changer, and you can just take a peek and look behind you and take a peek up here and see beside you if there's a car passing too close, see how many cars are behind you, how many cyclists are behind you. It really is like having eyes on the back of your head. I found it particularly useful for group rides. I organize rides, so I'm the one that knows the routes and I'm the one leading the rides. But a lot of times people that are new to the ride show up and I don't know how fast they are, and we have to adjust the ride accordingly because it's a no drop ride. And it's super useful for seeing who's behind me and for seeing how tight the group is together and for keeping everybody together and on the same page and having a good time. Not everybody always calls out their positions, calls out whether they're passing you, and sometimes people just hang out in your blind spots, and it's super easy to just look up to your mirror, see that someone's in your blind spot and that you shouldn't overlap wheels with them and cause a crash. And I know that's just bad cycling etiquette in a group ride, but sometimes people show up to my group rides and it's their first time. It's also super useful when you're taking turns on your bike just to check your blind spot and see whether you're clear to go. It just gives you an extra peace of mind, especially when you're sharing the road with a lot of cars and you can see exactly how far they are from you and whether or not you're going to die on your bike that day. Being able to see behind you and see whether it's clear behind you and whether you can take the lane confidently and for how long, it is actually just makes cycling a whole lot more fun. And that's probably why tourists use this mirror a lot, so that they can use the road properly and more safely without always having to crane their necks around every 30 seconds. The mirror still works with drop bars. You can use any hand position in drop bars. You just have to flick your head at a different angle depending on which position you're in. The helmet mirror still works with a backpack. It works with a messenger bag. It can obstruct the view a little bit, but it's totally fine. If you have even remotely thought about trying out a helmet mirror, or this idea of being able to see behind you is intriguing to you, I definitely recommend that you pick one up because they are only 15 bucks, at least at the bike shop I got them, 15, 20 bucks. You can check out the Amazon link in the description if you want to try it out. And there are other solutions to the not getting hit by a car from behind problem. Some Garmin lights and some other ones have all these high-tech radars and sensors to tell you how far a car is behind you and connect to your bike computer via Bluetooth and give you all these lights and beeps and bloops. Hey look, it's one of those expensive bike light radar things. It's got Bluetooth. That's a negative in my book. It's got IPX7 water resistance. I think my helmet mirror has like IPX infinity water resistance, and it even has 16 hours of battery life. Well, the helmet mirror's got it beat there. It's got like infinite battery life. Let's take a look inside. By the way, thank you Magic Shine for sending this to me. I am probably not going to use it though. Like, I personally care about how my bike looks more than I care about how I look. And this is just too big. Like this is pretty chonkin' big. This is the first taillight I've seen that has USB-C charging. It's a miracle. We can make it, everybody. Give me the manual. DME 508 radar taillight contains a micro radar and a multi-mode controllable taillight. It can be used together with the display terminal to help improve. Oh no, you gotta download a Chinese app. Even in the manual, they're saying wireless connectivity is pretty garbage. It might not work. Look how easy the helmet mirror is to set up. I can see the bike behind me. It's really sick. It should drop on May 25th. WabiCycles.com. You may be thinking, oh, you got the Apple Watch on. Well, you got an Apple Watch. If you hate Bluetooth and if you hate charging batteries and if you hate everything about technology, I don't, okay? This isn't an Apple Watch for me. This is a straight up phone. I don't use my phone anymore. This is my phone. Just look forward to that video in like a week or two. There's something really beautiful about just having a super low-tech solution that is very cheap, very easy to use, if in elegance, because it's just a mirror on a stick that you tape inside your helmet. I'll show you how low-tech this thing is. Like, I legitimately just taped it with gaffer tape. Pro tip, use gaff tape because it doesn't leave any residue when you take it off. Just taped inside the helmet and it stays put. And like, yeah, it looks ridiculous. It looks inelegant, but it's actually super effective. Just sometimes the simplest and most direct solution is oftentimes the best solution at being able to see behind you, because those high-tech gadgety gizmo things, they come with a lot of drawbacks themselves. All they do is tell you if a car is passing you or not and how close they are. But with the helmet mirror, you get all of that information at a fraction of the cost and more information. You can see what color a car is. You can see how fast they're going. You can see bikers. You can see people. You can see if you're being chased by a stray dog. And it doesn't have to connect to an expensive bike computer. And it's only $15. So if you're a super competitive roadie or triathlete that wants to make as many marginal gains as possible to shave as many fractions of a second off of your time on the route as possible, this helmet mirror is definitely not for you. It looks admittedly kind of stupid. It's not aero, it doesn't fit the pro look, but if you're just somebody that rides your bike and shares the road with primarily cars, you don't exactly care about how you look, or you're at least willing to give up one way that your outfit and your bike looks to be way more safer and have way more awareness on the road so that you can just be more at ease and enjoy your ride more. And that's the thing, if you primarily ride your bike for fun, if you're a bike commuter or if you're a bike tourist or if you're a fixed gear rider and you're just not a super competitive cyclist, definitely try it out. It's 15 bucks. And it may just change the way that you ride your bike forever. It certainly has for me. Just like this message from our sponsor. Wabi's bikes are so good that my Wabi Special is the only bike that I have to own. I don't need N+1 bikes when all I do is ride my favorite bike that I've ever thrown a leg over. It is the most fun bike that I've ever ridden. So it's the only bike that I own. They are that good. And part of what makes them that good is that Wabi constructs all of their frame sets out of top tier tubing, Reynolds 725 or Columbus Spirit. If you're looking to get their most popular model, their Wabi Classic, you can pre-order one right now and expect to get it in late May. And if you're wondering about the specials with the chrome lugs, those are slated to be out late May, tentatively. Be sure to check out Wabi Cycles, linked in the description. Fixie famous shoutouts to Julian Corona, Brandon Black, Brent David, Mohr, Perez for helping to make these fixed gear videos possible through your support on Patreon. And remember that life is short, but don't make it shorter, so be sure to ride your bike every day to be reasonably dangerous.